Welcome back, Minicons. I am back with a new review, and we're talking about a new MST3K episode. We're into season, what is this, 13, episode 2, and we are talking about Robot Wars. Now, fun fact about this film, I thought this was a sequel to Robot Jox for like a good long while. I would see it in the video stores. This is definitely one of those movies, if you're a Gen X kid, you saw in the video stores and you just thought, oh yeah, it's the next Robot Jox. I'll probably rent it eventually. And then you don't rent it. And then you find out later it had nothing even to do with Robot Jox, which is sad because Robot Jox sucks anyway. And this is worse. So of course it's on MST3K. So anyway, let's see. This stars, I don't know, some blonde white guy, and Barbara Crampton. Also, some actress that I've seen in a lot of like soap operas and reality shows, and I don't know, one of those kind of like sort of celebrities that's like, oh, I've seen her in a movie. She's in something, right? I don't know. Lisa Rinna, that's right. She did a lot of hosting stuff, so, you know, get ready for some real acting. So anyway, hey, this episode starts with, as usual with the Jonah era, a opening with the Mads, Kinga and Max. So anyway, they're trying to figure out how to bring in more viewers, of course, which is always their thing, and they have a meeting with Dr. Cabal, who is from the future, the rich guy from the future, and he's played by Tom Servo's voice actor. So, hey, he suggests setting up a second host. And this is kind of what we're doing. We're doing a lot of, like, story arcs and lore building throughout this whole Jonah era. And essentially, he is like, no, I know what you need. You need a second host. And they're like, okay, I guess we got this like whole thing we built that's supposed to be a simulator. We'll just use that and kidnap someone else. So of course they, get into that. Let's see, we go into the invention exchange, which Jonah has something called Meet Cute, which is like kind of food related things with romantic comedies, specifically Meg Ryan romantic comedies. There's Meet Cute. There's You Got Meat, Meet You in Seattle, and let's see, the Kinga invention is the simulator of love. So that's kind of like setting up. So she's kind of like, I don't know if cheating, but this is what she's got going on. Okay, so we go to the Robot Wars movie, and it takes place in I think the 2040s. So we still haven't hit that yet. It's not like 1980 where we have stations on the moon. This is like still possible, and we've lost part of America or something like that, and we like have deserts and pirates all over like the western half of the country, and I guess to take people on joyrides, we have these giant slow ass scorpion robots, which are supposed to be awesome, but they're basically pretty slow things. And sometimes your mileage may vary on the effect. Like sometimes it's an okay stop motion, where your kid could do it. Or sometimes, like, I believe it's Servo who points out, like, they're just moving the thing in front of the camera. So anyway, our robot pilot and his sidekick, who is like a dude from like a 1940s serial. I don't know why he's here. Let's see, Stumpy, I think his name is, or Stripey, or Stinky. I don't know. They're all the same. They're all the same kind of guy. Anyway, they're attacked by pirates, and he does some maneuvers, and he gets them out, but is kind of reckless. But he is supposed to do this reckless thing anyway for his boss, who's trying to impress a Japanese businessman, who, by the way, we will get to in just a minute. Anyway, Barbara Crampton is trying to prove something. She has evidence with her. She drops it during the battle. and she's mad at him, and we begin like a really poorly constructed part of this film where there's supposed to be that sexual tension between the two, where they hate each other and then they love each other, and they forgot the parts where they start to fall for each other. They're like they hate each other and then they love each other. I don't know, like, did they cut this part of the film out? Did the MST3K crew cut it out? Like, because we go straight from him being remarkably sexist to her, and her maybe hating him a little bit too much for the job he did piloting it. I mean, he is like really smarmy, disgusting. But the actor doesn't really. He's not as gross as, let's say, the hero, quote unquote, from Atlantic Rim. You know, it's weird. They've done 2 giant robot movies, and both of them feature a white guy hero who's disgustingly smarmy and awful. I will put it on our hero in this one. He's not as bad. Like, he is actually technically good at his job. The other guy in Atlantic Rim, he couldn't even do his job right, but the movie thought he was great. Like, he kills a whole bunch of people in a hotel, and then we're supposed to still be on his side. Our hero in this one, he's like, he knows at least what he's doing. He has a head on his shoulders. He's a jerk, but he knows what he's doing. So, all right, there's some really good riffs in this one. A lot, geez, in the first few minutes, there's like, let's see, J. Dowling. The J stands for, just don't use my full name. Let's see, does this ever happen to you was used. Let's see, there's a They Might Be Giants reference in this where the robot is running around, well, crawling around, and they all sing, "We love you, Spider," which is always a good sell for me, actually. Let's see. Yeah, there's that line where our hero says to Barbara Crampton, like, "You should be spanked," and Jonah goes, "Well, I'm sure that won her over," which is really funny. Let's see. The bits are really good in this one, by the way. Let's see. The robot stewardess scene is great, and let's give it up for Jonah. He does 2 bits in that. He plays the jerk pilot and one of the stewardesses. We also have the 1990s Crystal Vista section where they pretend to be touring, and he has that whole like dude bro extreme guy voice from the 90s. Like, oh my god, like he's got that character down. It's almost as if Jonah is from that generation. Then, of course, the robot fight at the end is pretty funny. I gotta say, some of my other favorite riffs was when Stumpy is cornered by pirates, the desert pirates, and he says to himself, "What would John Wayne do?" And Servo like chimes in, "Say something racist." It's just like, oh man, that's brutal. And let's see, there is like this small undercurrent line of racism. It's very thin, so they really don't pick up on it too much in this film. But this kind of comes at the end of a period in American films where Japanese businessmen were really evil, trying to take over everything, and that was a thing in the 80s and beginning of the 90s until, like, I think the Black Friday economic crash, which kind of changed the dynamics. But yeah, there was this thin racist kind of trope going on in some films about the Japanese taking over everything, and this plays into that. And it doesn't go too deep into it, and Jonah and the Bots do kind of like pick up on it a little bit. So that's I admire them for doing that, and I don't know. We have other problems these days, but yeah, during that period, that was a thing. You saw that quite a bit, and it was almost as if over and over again, our films had to like cheer us on to, I don't know, sell more cars. I don't know why that was. It kind of fed into like this othering of Asian Asian American, specifically Japanese people. Like it was kind of like putting them all together. Like, oh man, they're beating us economically. We can't trust them. It's like it. You would see this quite a bit, and it even like popped up in music. Like I don't know. I guess I'm going off on the rails here, but like Styx, Mr. Roboto kind of like feeds into that, and like, oh, it's kind of just irritating to see it again once again. So maybe I belabored this a little bit too long, but it's nice that the guys kind of like kind of picked up on that a little bit. So yeah, we're back to the film, and of course we get this really lame fight. It's this build up to this fight that's not that interesting. Oh my god. Also, like, seeing Barbara Crampton wasted in this movie. It's so funny. I watched this one more time for this review, and the night before I watched From Beyond, which also has Barbara Crampton in it, and she's excellent in that movie, and she's so good. And then I turn around and watch her the next day be completely wasted in this direct-to-video junk, playing this kind of shrill one-note character, and it's just like, oh god, we have failed you, Barbara Crampton. I apologize on behalf of everyone. So anyway, the end scene here gets into the introduction of Emily, and she has no idea what she's walking into, apparently, and she is irritating the piss out of Cynthia as she's driving her and listening to her talk, blah, 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 which is kind of funny. Maybe a little bit better payoff on that, like, 'cause she's like, oh, God, I can't wait to kill you. So, anyway, this actually has one of my favorite stingers in the whole Jonah era. Is we get to our hero threatening to spank Barbara Crampton, and she punches him. That's a good stinger. Okay, it was one of those things. Just like I saw that moment in the film, and I was like, oh, I hope that's the stinger. Oh my god. So anyway, that is the Robot Wars episode. Not much of a wars. It's like one fight. And it's not even that good of a fight. But the riffs were pretty good on this one, as well as a number of the sketches. I would probably give this probably a nice strong 4 out of 5 ram chips. I think would be, I think a high 4 ram chips. Pretty good. Not too bad. So, hey, I'm going to be talking about, I guess in another couple weeks, about the 3rd episode of the season. If I'm not mistaken, this might be the first Emily episode, is the 3rd episode, I think. If I'm not, I will correct myself next video. But yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 5, and it is available on the MST3K streaming service, the Gizmoplex, Gizmo something service or something like that. And I've been meaning to do a whole video about the site, and I guess I'll do that a little bit later. So I think that's it for now. You can find me at my various social media stuff. At Twitter, Facebook. I have a TikTok at Justin Cristelli, and you can support this channel at just $1 a month at Patreon. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. I gotta go to bed. I'm going to sleep. So push the button, Lindsay.